Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. I know, so soon after the last one, so yeah, I really brought the hammer down on reviewing the albums for this one, which is good because there's another 6 to go through. Spoiler, all of them sort of verge within metal, or at least some subgenre of metal, so yeah, we've got about 6 of them to go through. Let's just get through them as quickly as we can. First, we're off to Harrogate, England for Blood Youth with their third album, Visions of Another Hell. Now, I really like Blood Youth, I really like their last album, Starve, and yeah, I love this one as well. Not even going to front, giving it a full-on A+. Absolutely fantastic expansion of what they accomplished on Starve, which, again, was really good. You should listen to that. You should absolutely listen to this as well. Phenomenal instrumental work, really dark, creeping tones to a lot of it. Still, like, really fast-paced and punk-heavy when it needs to be, but all in all, really solid. And also a bit of a bittersweet album because it's their last full one with Kaya Tarsus because of him stepping down from the band to focus on his mental health issues, and for all intended purposes I hope he gets better, and I am looking forward to seeing what new vocalist Harry Roll is able to bring to the group. I haven't heard any stuff with him yet, I don't really know anything about him, but if they picked him to replace Kaya, that means I have faith, and I have faith that you people will like this album. Solid production, really good structuring. Yeah, pretty much everything about this is great, and Kaya Tarsus puts in an emotional best performance, so go listen to it. Next we go to Tempe, Arizona for Dead with their second album, School of Thought. Now, I actually put their first one, Misanthrope, back in 2017 in my top 10 of that year. I'm not going to give this album that same accolade, but it's still a really good one. I'm giving it a B+. Obviously, yeah, it does sort of fall a bit in some places, but I do like that the band took a more mature approach with this one. There's less of like an edge boy emo tinge to it than there was on the debut, even though I like the debut more than this one. Yeah, I'm confused a bit as well, which is partially why I'm scratching my head. But I think my main problem with this one is that it was produced by Kevin Churko, and his idea of a metal album is just making them all sound the same. But yeah, this album's still solid for what it is. I like the more industrial tone they take as well. Good focus on the more nu metal-y aspects of the album. I like the better focus on themes of mental health and things like that on the lyrics, and more themes of like growing up and learning to live the modern world as it is. So yeah, I'd still recommend giving it a shot. It's still really good. Next up we go to England for the last British band on this list, Hertfordshire's own Defences with their second album, In the Balance. So this is the first one I'm really hearing about them. I was sort of looking forward to it, and I forgot that it came out near the start of October, so I did push it back to last Friday. Having said that, I thought this was some really solid alternative metalcore-ish stuff. I'm giving it a C+ though, because there's a lot of good elements to it, and I like a lot of the stances they take for the most part, but it struggles to really stick to a specific thing, and it doesn't really do a lot to feel unique to it, especially for female-fronted metalcore, and there's a band we'll get into after this which does it a little bit better. But yeah, I thought it was still pretty good, just a slightly above average. I mean, really good instrumental work. This album needed more breakdowns, by the way. I do sort of like the melody, but it needed more breakdowns. It just needed to find that balance a little bit better, but as it is, it's not too terrible, so maybe give it a try. They do get more right than they get wrong, thankfully, and this is their second album, so again, I will give them that benefit of the doubt, which I give to a lot of bands who are still early in their career. These guys have only been around 8 years, so yeah, I do have hopes for what's next for them, and they can really only go up from here. Next we go to a debut, the only debut in this episode by the way, Dying Wish with their first album, Fragments of a Bitter Memory. They hail from Portland, Oregon. I did not forget this time, because last episode I had to edit in where a band was from because I forgot to say where they're from. These guys are from Portland, and I'm giving this one a solid A-. I really enjoyed this one. The reason I'm giving it an A- is because it was over too quick for me. There was a couple of unnecessarily short hardcore songs that really needed to be a bit longer, but goddamn, this album just hits, like the lead singer, Emma Boster. I think I'm saying that right, Emma Boster? B-O-S-T-E-R, I think is how it's pronounced, is how it's spelled. A lot of the lyrics come from her growing up with an alcoholic stepfather who was quite abusive towards her, and there's almost sort of a concept around that, which reminded me a lot of Orthodox's album. I forget what that one was called, but it was my 30th favourite of 2020 because, I'm a very biased person. Let It Take Its Course, that's what it's called. This album reminded me a lot of that, which can only be a good thing. Really solid lyrics, really great instrumentation. Honestly, this album is phenomenal and you should listen to it. It did take me a couple of listens to fully get what was going on, and then I did more research into it. Really enjoyed this one. Solid performance as well. Emma herself, absolutely phenomenal emotional vocal work. Yeah, really great from everyone. Really good production too for an album like this with more hardcore lean than metal lean. Still really works for me, so maybe it'll work for you as well. Next up, it is time to go to Salem, Massachusetts, and as we know, Massachusetts is the freakiest state when it comes to music, for Ice Nine Kills with their 6th album, The Silver Screen 2, Welcome to Horrorwood. A+. I don't really need to skirt around that. It gets an A+. So, yeah, I really loved their last one. I love all their, well, most of their work. Their debut was not great, but I've heard other albums as per a backtracking episode that I did a couple of years ago, and really enjoyed most of it. Really loved the Silver Screen Part 1, and I thought, they're probably not going to top this, and they did. Really love, again, the puns and the wordplay that they used to relate the songs that are based on the movies to the movies, you know. I really love that there's sort of, I was going to say an original song in Welcome to Horrorwood, the sort of opening title track, but all the songs are originals. They just use samples and they play a lot of reference to the movies. They're not like, it's not like the band just ripped off the soundtrack, although the fact that in the last song on the album, Farewell to Flesh, they worked in a Flight of the Bumblebees riff, that was a stroke of fucking genius, and God, the album works so well. All the new band members fit in brilliantly too. I give special mention to Dan Sugarman as new lead guitarist. Fucking stomps on this album. Everyone's great, obviously. Really loved how it's paced out. Just no complaints. Just fucking listen to Welcome to Horrorwood. It's really good. And the production. Oh my god, yes to that. Yes to all of this album. Just listen to it. I'm not going to ramble anymore. And we do sadly end on a bum note. Melbourne, Australia's 12-Foot Ninja with their 3rd album, Vengeance. So this is their first album in about 5 years. And I want people to know these are a band I really like, from a country I like. This album sucks. It gets a D. I do not know. Here's the thing, they're typically more of an avant-garde metal band, right? And they add like bits of funk and ska into their usual jaunty sound, which worked on their second album, and from the couple of songs I've heard from that. This is my first full album by them, but I don't think it was the right point for me to jump on, or anyone to jump on. If you've heard anything about 12-Foot Ninja, avoid this one. Really horrible production, which waters down a lot of the musical elements. They don't have a basis for this one technically either, which I think really, really hurt it. And God damn, it's just so slow and sluggish for an album that's not that long either, like 34, 35 minutes. It's not a slog, but it feels like one. And God, so much of this album was just hurt really badly. The lyrics are just fucking dumb and goofy. The performances are super phoned in, especially from like a gent band who usually do good performances, especially instrumentally. Like, oh god, no. Yeah, just no to this album. Just avoid it, please. And even though it ended on a sad note, that is another episode of Music of the Week in the books, if you will, even though this isn't going to be in any books unless you count the pages of the internet as one big book, and you can close them and tear them off. You can even bookmark them if you want, so I guess that does sort of work. Oh, because I forgot to do this last time because I'm a twat, most recommended are Blood Youth, Dying Wish, and Ice Nine Kills. Those are the 3 I'd recommend the most because last week was really good. And the next episode will also have 6 albums, as will the episode after that. I've got a lot to do. More to do in October than I think I have in any other month. It's been a hard working month for me. But that's besides the point. Before I go, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched the return stream of PBW vs AVW. I will be doing a random gaming stream tonight, probably playing some NHL. I don't really know what yet. And I'll be putting up the PBW vs AVW episodes after I'm done streaming. So, yeah. Episode parts. So, yeah, Season 4's first episode was a banger. And I can't wait for the people of YouTube to see it, and I can't wait for the people of YouTube to see this. And also to see me doing this, because this is your favourite part of the video when it ends. As always, thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention Backtracking's Fall Out Boy episode. That's fully written. Expect that next week. And probably Friday night review this weekend. Now, as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Sorry. Bye-bye.